Hello there, my name is David Chapman. I'm the CEO of Diamond Nine Marketing Company, and I'm here today to talk to you about the 5 franchise marketing strategies for the next 90 days. Let me start off with the bad news. The only easy button I've found in life that works so far is this one that I have on my desk, and it only makes noises. So trust me, there is no easy button in life, and there's certainly no easy button in terms of franchise marketing specifically. But we'll cover through, as I said, 5 different ideas that you can implement over the next 90 days. As I mentioned, I'm with Diamond Nine Marketing Company. I'd like to give you just a brief backstory to us prior to getting into the conversation. Possibly it'll only be a couple slides. That's our management team. If you've been to IFA shows previously, you've probably seen our booth and certainly probably maybe know some of our people. We've been in franchising for over a decade now, and so we have met a ton of people, and certainly anybody on the webinar that we know, hello. If we don't know you, hopefully we'll talk to you soon at the show, and certainly or otherwise. All right, just a little bit about us. We're a top 5 ranking in entrepreneur franchise supplier rankings. We've been recognized by Inc. many times. We like Inc. just because it actually is based on an audit of your books by a financial company. And in 2019, we were ranked as the fastest growing franchise content marketing and PR agency in the country, which we're very proud of. We also have a full-scale video production capability within our company. And to that end, we have won a lot of coveted marketing awards for our clients. Tellies, One Shows, numerous ad and PR awards for our franchise brands. I started the company 2 decades ago here in Raleigh. Prior to that, I worked on the media side. I worked on the agency side for the world's largest advertising agency network in the world, Interpublic Group. Also worked on the company side. I was a senior brand strategist. I was EVP marketing for a technology company. Currently writing for Forbes magazine. Years ago, if you had told me that an old marketing guy was going to be writing columns for Forbes, I would have said you're crazy, but that just shows you how times have changed. 28 employees, actually 29 employees as of today, satellite offices around the country. Like most companies, when we have very high-performing employees and they move to different parts of the country, we certainly want to keep them on the fold, so we have them working out of satellite offices in New York, Boston, Houston, Charlotte, Fort Lauderdale. And it does work out quite well for servicing our clients. As I mentioned earlier, we've been in franchising for 12 years now. Actually got in. The way things happen in business, as we all know, is sometimes not a straight line. I was coaching my younger son's baseball team in the fall. As you see, it has 99 Marketing on the back of the t-shirt. And as usual, no other company would sponsor our team. So who sponsored it? My company. I was the coach of the team. And a dad came up to me one day and asked me if we'd ever been franchising. I said no. And so the first client that we worked on together with this outsourced sales company is a company called Senior Helpers. Nowadays, our clients' messages are seen, viewed, and heard by more than 1 million people a day. You see some of the places I'm talking about, many more. I think we're pretty well known within the industry as being a leader in driving big brand elevation nationally as well as locally. We are, in my opinion, probably the most well-positioned marketing firm out there in terms of being able to offer a full roster of services. As you can see, we have a process called link planning, which is a trademarked proprietary system we use for onboarding. And we're really, after that, we're really a content marketing company, as I mentioned earlier. So we create content for social media, digital content, public relations, direct marketing. And we have an analytics platform that is, in my opinion, best of breed. We're the only ones in franchising to have the exclusive rights to this artificial intelligence tool called 919 Insights, which we'll talk a little bit about in a second, maybe. And then in terms of who we work for, we've worked in all categories of franchising, from food to hair cutting to in-home senior care to retail health care, you name it. We've been involved in a lot of brands over the past decade, and very proud of the work that we've done in working with our franchise partners. All right, so here's what you signed up for. No more about 919 Marketing, no more about myself. Let's jump right into it. I'm going to cover 5 marketing strategies to catapult your brand to the next level. Right now, as we all know, this is the COVID COVID time, these are just as relevant if we were not in a virus, a pandemic situation like we are now, but certainly these are very applicable to today's world as well as in the future. All right. All right, so there's 5 things, as I mentioned earlier. The 5 things are, 1 is climb the organic search ladder. I'm going to go into great detail about that. 2 is tapping into the emotions driving future franchise development decisions. And they're going to be very different. Turn content into real conversations with your franchisees. Again, take the time to really figure out how to connect and bond and build a better relationship with your franchisees. Help franchisees connect and build stronger relationships with their customers. So that's another one that I think that we could really, over the next 90 days, impact. And then 5, identify and address small marketing issues that will quickly make a big impact. I think we all know that we have a laundry list of things to do, particularly marketers, and you never get to those last 5 or 6 items on your list. We're suggesting there's some things that are, I would say, are low-hanging fruit that should be done, and we'll cover those as well. All right, as the first thing, as I mentioned, climb the organic search ladder. The benefits of paid search, retargeting, social media advertising are proven but short-term. I've seen dozens of franchise brands of all sizes spend enough money to quickly see results from paid search, no question. But I mean, as we all know, however, you got to watch what happens a day or 2 after the spending is cut. The brand content disappears. Which is why organic search results are so important, but they're certainly earned and not bought. It's more difficult, lasts longer, pays higher dividends. The listing is linked directly to content on your website, usually a blog article or branded content on high traffic websites, like an article on Forbes, which I was talking about earlier. The real key, in my opinion, to organic search is finding out the magnetic keywords and topics that will pull franchise candidates and the customers of your franchisees to your website and social media channels. But you definitely cannot stop there. I mean, it's really finding out what content is generating success for your top competitors and creating an even better version of the web page, blog post, video, ebook, whatever it is that they have that is driving success for them, and find out how we can help it to drive leads and conversions for you. To me, that's really a key component of organic search is, again, it's not easy, but anything that's worth having usually is not easy, but the results from organic search can last years. Again, vision drives smarter marketing decisions as well. Other solutions out there, but here at 919, as I mentioned a second ago, we have a thing called 919 Insights. It's a proprietary artificial intelligence platform that identifies the exact content that brings people to your website, what website content is actually read or viewed, and then what content is actually driving conversions. And your conversions change from company to company. It can be leads, calls, filling out forms, whatever your conversion is. It also crawls every piece of content on your competitors' websites and social channels to uncover topics driving success for them. To me, that is a big key, is not just fishing in your own pond, but learning what's going on in your competitors' ponds. I think it's a game changer. Certainly, we've done this for about 60 brands now, and we've learned a significant amount from it every time. Again, once you determine the content that will boost your organic search ranking, you must get past your natural tendency to write about how great your franchise brand truly is. It's your low cost of entry, high margins, amazing successful franchisees, all the great franchisee ranking or franchise rankings and awards that you've accumulated, all those things that are kind of the normal way that franchisors talk to prospects, I think, are marginally successful at best, and certainly moving into the new world even less so. In my mind, you've got to become a trusted anchor brand. And your goal should be to move your brand to a top 5 ranking around the keyword searches that drive success. We know it works because 919 Marketing ranks #1 as a franchise marketing agency, at least up to date. You see the ranking there. It's a fluid thing, but certainly, as you can see, it's driven a lot of success for us, and certainly it tells you that we eat our own dog food. So number 2, tapping into the emotions driving future franchise development decisions. As I mentioned earlier, I think it's going to be a very different world. I know it's already a different world in terms of how people make decisions. People are spending more time online than ever. The old sales acronym, FUD, which we've all heard about, fear, uncertainty, and doubt is more in play now than at any other time in recent history. Yet, while prospects are desperately seeking more control of their future, FUD also breeds mistrust and confusion. So again, to the slide, welcome to the new world of franchising, where trust and empathy win the hearts and minds of franchise prospects. And where franchise brands are going to be bought, not sold. And what I mean by that is that it's not going to be some slick, high pressure, buy now approach. It's not going to be about how great your brand is. It's going to be about how well you can connect with and win trust from the people that are looking to make a decision. And if you can do that, as I mentioned, become the anchor brand, I think that's the way franchises are going to be awarded in the future. All right. So again, as I mentioned then, best candidates, best validate candidates' fears and aspirations, providing unbiased insights into the buying process. An anchor brand, which I mentioned on the last slide. Again, it's about creating the right content that connects with the right audiences at the right time on the right channel. And to know that, you have to have data. And if you have the right data, you'll know what content needs to be in each one of your channels, what audiences you're going after. All those things kind of fall into place once you've got the right information. But again, it all starts with knowing versus guessing on the topics that resonate, educate, motivate your best prospects to act. Here's a classic example, I think, of effectively tapping into the emotions of your target audience. The most read LinkedIn article of all time is this article by Dr. Travis Bradbury, and it's called How Successful People Stay Calm. As you see there, it's probably kind of small to see it, but right here, 2.8 million views, likes, 27,000 comments, almost 3,400 comments. I mean, you can see the magnitude of that. It also happens that he is also a published author and CEO of an executive search firm. So I think you see where I'm going with this. He didn't overly promote his book, aka franchise, nor his company in the article, yet he knew that the topic would strike a chord with the LinkedIn business community and lead them to his services. He educated, built trust with his target audience by writing an article to their perspective, not his own, and you see the results of what I'm talking about. So I would suggest in your marketing that you think about it from that perspective as well. What is it that really is going to resonate with the people that could buy a franchise from you? Again, tapping to the emotions, driving future decisions. Again, to that point, did you know that according to the recent study by HubSpot, 70% of the buying decisions made before a franchise candidate decides to contact a sales rep or fill out a form? So think about that for a minute. So if your content on your website is not resonating with people coming to it, you might see this in your Google Analytics data and other data. If you're having a lot of drop-offs, not a lot of conversions, that tells you that your content is not keeping people on the site. Or moreover, other data suggests that people come to your site at least 5 times before they actually reach out to you. So your content on your website has to be the right content. And again, I would insist on it being data-driven content, not just guessing, but really knowing exactly what's going on with your website and your competitors. Again, about creating relevancy and trust by developing your sales content from their point of view. I mean, this is a great cartoon of sales guy on the left, what you want to say, consumer on the right, what they're interested in. And if you don't find this relevance part of the conversation very quickly, they're going to tap out, they're going to move on, and you're going to have to sort of go on to the next one. But it's a real waste not sort of having the right content right up front. All right, so these buying behaviors are changing the game and making content the reason why your brand's going to win or lose moving forward. I truly believe that. Right organic search content is going to score high, position you as a problem-solving resource and your people as trusted experts. So have the right content, the right audience, the right time, the right channel. To me, that's really what it's all about. So that's the second one of the 5, and now here's the third one. Turning content into real conversations with your franchisees. Critically important. Most brands do an okay job. I think there's some ways you can really channel your communication, your tactics, your efforts and your energies into really making real conversations. Like relationships, that's the way it is. If you have a real conversation, it may not be great on the start, but at least you've established some authenticity and some frankness that I think is needed. Again, because I think that to a large extent, there's a transactional relationship between you and your franchisees centered around royalties, use of marketing funds and fees. And now it's the perfect time to attack the unspoken topics that have caused friction. You know what yours are better than I do, but typically the things I hear are ad fund, vendors, communication issues, protected territories, and the list goes on and on. The content, topics of discussion need to be created from a franchisee's point of view, not yours. Now, the regular channels of communication, we all know what they are: email, calls, webinars, etc. We've lately been exploring some new, more interactive, engaging platforms like a CEO video, or even better, your own monthly TV show. I'll show you what I mean by that. This is something that we have produced. We continue to produce for one of our brands, where it's about a 2-minute, 30-second. As you may know, the average length of a TV news feature is about 2 minutes, 30 seconds. We create these around that same timeline, and we actually make it where it's a show. This company is called Confluent, and this is called The Buzz. Have a brief intro from our folks. It looks like a news story. Then the CEO talks and some franchisees talk, and it's just we've noticed engagement and real sort of results from this far higher than email, webinars, things of that nature. All right, so 4, help franchisees build stronger relationships with their customers. Again, we all know that the name of the game is building system revenues, driving royalties, having successful franchisees. All those things are part of this mix. Again, find out what content's driving online social media engagement for your brand and your competitive brands. Put all your efforts behind creating more consumer-focused or customer-focused content around those topics. And then again, less on telling people how great you are and making that localized as well. And then also looking for ways of making your franchisees more relatable and trustworthy. Humanize and localize the message by making your local franchisees more relatable and more trustworthy. This involves creating blog content that can be localized and shared by your franchisees. And I know you're probably going, yeah. We're already doing that. And it's probably not working that great right now. I understand, but there are some things that could be done to really drive your topics and your content and the success of your content marketing programs. Starting with asking some questions before you create any content moving forward for your customer, the customer of your franchisees. Is the topic based on actual consumer behavior on your website and social media channels? Again, getting back to the data side of it. Does the topic answer the questions consumers are searching for online? How difficult will it be for the content to rank high in organic search? So what I mean by that is this, is that there's something called domain authority, which is how the level Google trusts your website, and then keywords that spill out of that based on that domain authority. There are certain keywords, and you can find out how many searches are happening per month, and then how difficult it is to rank for that keyword. So if you have a high search and a low, like 1 to 100 is the ranking of that. So if you have 10,000 searches and there's the difficulty score is like 15, that would be a great place to start in terms of generating a ton of content, consumer content that's going to drive results for your franchisees. Another big thing is being able to generate backlinks from other websites with a higher domain authority, which I mentioned earlier. Domain authority of 1 to 100 again. And should you say your website, most franchise websites, franchise development websites, I'll say, are usually somewhere from about 25 to 40. Rarely are they above 50. And so if you can find a website like Forbes, for example, which is about 92 last time I looked, if you can get a backlink from Forbes on some content that is important to you and your customers, make a big impact, and it's there forever. The other part of it is I see this happening too often, is who's writing your content? An intern, a freelance reporter for major publications, or is it someone else? Now's the time to show your current franchisees you're providing a high level of marketing than ever before. And future franchisees, you actually put more muscle behind the consumer marketing programs during what I don't even think it's an argument anymore. It's been the darkest time in franchising, in my opinion. Certainly since we've been involved. And so, if you can show your franchisees you're supporting them, you can show them better results than before, and you can show potential franchisees that you were in the game. You didn't go black, you didn't go dark, you didn't like hide in a cave. You actually were aggressively looking to build your business. And then number 5, identify and address small marketing issues that quickly make a big impact. As I mentioned earlier, there are a few things you can do that I think are fairly, speed to market kind of things that could make a difference. I'll go through a couple of those now. Validate or recalibrate your brand positioning and messaging strategy. This is something that as simple as making sure that all your customer facing channels have the same look and feel. It's your the other part of it is that you can do this with research, online research, and really find out, make sure that people understand your brand value proposition. They understand your positioning. They understand and they are compelled by your branding. If not, find that out now. The sooner you can readjust it, recalibrate it, improve it, the better. Graphic standards manual, almost everybody has one. I bet you yours is not up to date. That might be something to spend a little bit of time on getting it up to date. Brand identity tagline resonate as it sets you apart from the competition. Again, I would use research to find that out. Is your franchise development website still on a separate domain? This is a pretty sensitive topic many times with franchise brands that we talk to. And as I mentioned, we've analyzed more than 100, more than 60 in the past year, 65, I think it is. And I will tell you that we have never one time seen a franchise development website on a separate URL that scores higher than the consumer website. I'll show you an example of that. So here's real data. This is public information. I'm not sharing anything. This is on something called Moz. And so we looked at some competitors within a category. And so you can see it right there. I mean, I can show you East Coast Wings 48, East Coast Wings franchise 21. Wingstop and Wingstop are the same URL. So as you see, they are the same, in fact. Wingzone franchise, less than half of the domain authority. As you remember, when I talked about domain authority, that is the way Google trusts your content on your website. So if Google trusts the content on wingzone.com twice as much, that means it's twice as likely to score on the first page of a Google search. If you're at 20, content on that website's not being seen, at least from an organic search perspective. So something big that you need to take a look at that I think could be a real game changer for your company. Again, critical content and technical tweaks. Run a free SEO test to identify website issues. If these are addressed, it can optimize your SEO performance, impact the visitor experience, and even improve your Google rankings by increasing site speed. I mean, there are lots of free things online where you can find out, how fast your website is, what are broken links are there. All those things are there, easily readable, found through third-party software that's free. Use data analytics findings to make a website content upgrade and create a 12-month content calendar. This is another one that I see quite often, and I think is a huge thing, and that's people are not really leveraging video assets as much as they should. Video is the most #1 consumed content online. YouTube supposedly is uploading 500,000 hours of video a day, most of it from gamers, I suspect. I don't know that, but nevertheless, video is where it's at. And if you're not in the video game in a pretty compelling way, I think you're missing out. Again, let the personality of your company and employees shine through video. People seek out companies whose value is aligned with their own. I think we all know that, but people in today's world, I mean, I've got my phone right by me, I'm on a computer right now. So we all sort of are looking for speed of information, and video certainly fits that bill quite well. So how's that translate into franchise recruitment marketing? There's an article that I wrote. It's actually in Franchise Update. It's also on our website if you want to check it out. I think it'd be a valuable video. It's called the Close More Deals with these 7 franchise sales videos. And I'll give you some of those videos here, but the article spells them out a little bit more. Brand story video, like what's the story of your brand? Day in the life franchisee profile videos, CEO video. People buy from people, and CEO branding is a huge component of today's marketing for franchises. Top 10 questions video. I think about that for a minute. If you're, again, I mentioned earlier about on your website, people go there 5 times before they want to talk to you. If you have your top 10 questions video there and they watch that before they ever talk to you, they're further down the sales funnel. Support team video, who would be the people supporting you if you were to come on board with this brand? Marketing team, even. These are ones we've done a few of these, very effective. People don't think about this typically, but who's the marketing team behind this brand and how are they going to help me drive my business locally? Sometimes we've done ones like why consider this category, you know, like if it's a category and people have misperceptions about it, sort of go right at that misperception. The other one is a good one too. It's a kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing of why you should be a franchisee of ours. It drives a lot of people to watch it, and it gets right down into it really is a sort of flipping what makes a great franchisee. So just a few ideas for you there. I'll just show you a couple brand story videos. This is one that was from Monster Tree Service that we did. Storm Guard, where we took a husband-wife team and showed how they came from corporate America, went into a company they had no experience in terms of doing home improvement and roofing and things like that, and just really tells their story in a compelling way. So the first was a CEO video. This is a franchisee day in the life video. Another brand story video about the Kolache factory down in Texas, where it's a really compelling, emotional video about the founders and why they started it. Then sometimes we do these, which are actually news format video, where it looks like a news story. We actually shot this in New York City. Rita's wanted to have more penetration within Manhattan, and so we shot this in Manhattan with a real TV reporter, and pretty interesting. Take a look at that sometime. Also do a lot of influencer marketing campaigns. This is one we did for Beef Jerky Outlet, where we found a guy online who you may have seen this guy, JP Sears. He does a lot of funny sort of irreverent videos. He happened to do one about how to cure veganism. Obviously with beef jerky, they know how to cure veganism. We had him shoot 4 videos for us. It worked out fantastic. And so just shows you the power of video and how you can integrate it into your overall consumer and franchise development marketing campaigns as well. So there you have it. 5 marketing strategies for the next 90 days, in and out pretty quickly. If you'd like to talk about them more, again, there's my contact information, D Chapman 909 Marketing, direct line there as well. Again, I want to say there is no easy button, nor the proverbial marketing silver bullet, except for the old core silver bullet campaign that old guys in the industry will remember. But you didn't get into franchising to play it safe, right? You got into franchising to make money and change lives, and that's the way you do it. You go after it. That's the way we do it at our business, and that's why we've grown so much within franchising. But anyway, that's enough. If you'd like a copy of the presentation, just shoot me an email, or the article is on our website, along with those videos. But again, I've enjoyed the conversation. Thank you so much, and good luck to you. Let's go get it.